Good afternoon, my name is Andy Caldwell, Chief Commercial Officer at Oxford International Education Group. We're here in Chennai talking about our pathway programs with our institutions across the UK, from London up to Edinburgh. We have a range of different pathway options to help ensure that students get a highly successful degree and go on to get their graduate route visa to get experience living, working, and of course studying in the UK. Sherwood, anything to add?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sherwood Won, and I'm the Global Sales Director at OIUG. So very glad to be here today. And then, we're operating 7 pathway colleges across the UK, and India being our largest international student market, and we have a lot of successful cases in our pathway colleges from Indian students, and we are really looking forward to give more information for the prospective student from India here. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Mohit Gambhir. I'm the Managing Director of Oxford International Education Services. Our pathway programs have been extremely successful over the past couple of years in various parts of India. And for the first time, we now come and launch in the region of Tamil Nadu and want to give the benefits and spread the benefit across the students of Tamil Nadu. So we welcome students from the region of Tamil Nadu and want to help them make a successful career with us.
So how the students will contact the
The local contact point for students is Success Point, which is our local agency. They cover all the range of support services. They communicate with my office, which is based in Mumbai, and through our offices, our teams will support the students and the agency to give them the service that they need.
Onto our programs. We deliver programs in the UK, the USA, Canada, and Australia. We have a significant presence of students who join our programs from around the world. And India is one of the world's largest source markets of international students. And we take pride and passion at ensuring students who come and join us from India have a fantastic study experience. And what we're going to be talking to you about today is what that enhanced study experience looks like in the UK with our UK pathway partners. Now, we have, as an organisation, over recent years, been expanding our global presence. We've been expanding our global presence to ensure that we are welcoming and we're working closely with our recruitment partners, our agents here in India, but also so that students who are coming from India have not just a British education, they have an international British education when they come and study with us in the UK. And it's a truly international British education because we welcome students from all over the world. Oxford International Education Group is a truly global business. Whilst we teach students in the UK, the USA, Canada and Australia, we welcome students onto our courses from all over the world. We have a presence in over 45 countries around the world, welcoming students and ensuring that those students have a truly rich and diverse experience on their study program with us. A little bit about our partners, and of course today we're going to talk to you about our UK pathway partners. But we also have both UK pathway partners and universities that we welcome students onto direct entry. So you can see on screen we work with the University of Roehampton, Ravensbourne University, BPP University for direct entry. For our UK pathway partners, which we're going to spend some more time talking to you about today, we work with De Montfort University in Leicester, the University of Greenwich in central London, Bangor University in North Wales, the University of Bradford, the University of Dundee, Edinburgh Napier University. So we work with a wide range of universities all around the UK who welcome students onto our pathway programs. As you've seen, the UK is incredibly welcoming of international students. The UK as a government is making incredibly clear to students from here in India and students from around the world, they are welcome, and the UK highly welcomes students to come and enrich UK society and also enrich our campuses and our university partners with more diverse experience into the campuses, which benefits not just the students from India who are coming to study with us, but also local students who get to find out more about Indian culture and about other countries all around the world that students from all around the world are bringing to the UK. The UK continues to offer a stay-back program, post-study work. The graduate route was reviewed by the UK government and made clear the graduate route is here to remain and the graduate route is here to stay. Critically, for students to be eligible for the graduate route in the UK, they must complete a degree with honours. They must study in the UK for a minimum of 1 full year, and they must have a degree with honours. What we want to talk to you about today is how we help ensure through our pathway programs that students have a highly successful experience at the university campus with us that they choose to enrol on, that they settle in to UK culture and UK education, and they have the best possible opportunity and chance to get the best degree outcome, which ensures that they are eligible for the graduate route post-study stay-back scheme, but ensures that they go on to have highly successful jobs and have a highly successful career. And on that note, I'll stop and I'll hand over to my colleague Sherwood Wan to talk to you a little bit more about our pathway programs. Over to you, Sherwood.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sherwood Wan, and I'm the Global Sales Director at Oxford International. So, following up on what Andy just said, is that we got the message from the UK government that they are, really welcoming international students to the UK. So, as Oxford International, we are providing a lot of different programs, but one of the most popular programs for international students is the pathway program offered by our Pathway College. We'll look into more into details today. Before going ahead, actually, as Oxford International, we do some research with the, we do some survey with the international students, and particularly we ask Indian students why they are interested in studying the UK. As you can see by ranking factors, you may not be able to see all of them, but the common name is that the Indian student thinks that the university in the UK is a really good reputation. Because of the education in the UK provided in the best in the world. Some of the Indian students think that they have always been interested in the UK, and they do speak English and find that UK is a welcoming and friendly country. And then the cost fee is relatively affordable, and then they think that UK institutions also offer good scholarships that they would apply for. So these are the surveys that will come up from the Indian student on why they are interested in the UK. And we also look into the survey on the wider group of the international students, not just from India but across the globe. What is the motivation for them to study abroad? So as you can see, the most common one is that they really want to have a greater opportunities, whether in their career or in their life, and also to get more global perspective. And also, a lot of students think that when they're studying abroad, they will be able to have, more opportunities meeting with different friends from different backgrounds, culture, and they will help to shape their better career in the journey. So for Oxford International, so we help students to pursue their dream, and then for the first step of that is that we are offering the pathway program in our pathway colleges. So you may want to ask, what is a pathway program? So basically, it's a program we offer both in undergraduate level and postgraduate level. At undergraduate level, it's roughly about 9-month courses. So it is a university preparation program. So for students that they may not be able to get into direct entry for the university degree, so they may be slightly off from the academic score or the English score, so they may come into a pathway program to do a 9-month program. On the other hand, if a student already got a bachelor's degree in India and they want to apply for a master program, again, if their academic background is not really up to the standard or even slightly below the English level, they may choose to do a 3-month pre-master program or 6-month pre-master program with us. So this is how, what is the pathway program do? So the key OIG pathway benefit is that we're operating in a small class size. So basically, what I would say is that the program is designed for international students specifically to really push up their English skill and also the academic level in a short period of time. As we know that different countries that we have different educational curriculum, different background, different culture. We have from a lot of students saying that when they are from India or from other parts of the world, when they have to get into the UK, there's a new life, a lot of things that they have to adapt. So it's always, the pathway program is for them, not just boosting their English level, academic background, but really getting them the time to adapt the new life in the UK, getting used to the curriculum. We have a dedicated international college team to help to support the whole transition period for the international students. So when I said that some of the students that they may not be able to get direct entry to the university, they will come to do the pathway program. But in many cases, especially for India, we actually see that students they may meet the entry requirement for the direct entry. They still want to come to do a pathway program to make sure that they are getting ready for their main program. So this is what we have been seeing across India. So looking to the pathway colleges, we are running 7 pathway colleges across the UK. As you can see in Scotland, we are running 2 pathway colleges, one with University of Dundee, one with Edinburgh Napier University in Edinburgh. And then in Wales, we are working with, we're partnering with University of Bangor, and then going to the north of England, we have University of Bradford, moving to the south, we have the Montfort University, University of Greenwich, and University of Kent. So, students coming from the undergraduate level, there are a wide range of subjects that they can choose from art and design, business, computing, engineering, law, media, nursing, pharmacy, psychology, science. So this is all the subjects that students, if they want to pursue, they can start from the pathway program. And then for the master level, if a student wants to do a pre-master with us, they can choose from art and design, business, banking, engineering, law, and psychology in any of the colleges that I just showed to you. So in terms of the program, the different level of the program. So for the undergraduate pathway program, we have International Year 0. Basically, this is more or less for the students who just finishing high school. So in the UK, normally that students will have to complete 3 years undergraduate degree. So when students finish the high school in India, they will come and do the International Year 0, roughly about 9 months program. Once they successfully completing the International Year 0, they will go on to a 3-year degree program with the university. So basically what we call this model is 1+3. So altogether, students will spend 4 years in the UK to obtain the higher education degree. We are also offering International Year 1. So students with a higher academic score or English result, or they may have some further study after high school, they may be eligible to apply for International Year 1. So in this one, we call it 1+2 business model. So the whole duration, including the pathway International Year 1, is 3 years. So it is the same for the students that go for the direct route. So it's 1 year International Year 1 plus 2 years at the university. And then at the Montfort University, we are also having a program called International Year 2 program. So this is also for students that they have already studying in India for the first year of the undergraduate degree. If they want to transit to the UK, they may join us in the International Second Year program. After completing the International Second Year, they will only need 1 more year to get the degree. And for the postgraduate programs, as I said, for the International Incorporated Master, or what we call the pre-master program, students can join us with a 1-term 3-month program or 2-term 6-month program, depending on their academic profile or also the English level. So this is just a quick overview about the college. I won't get into too much details on each of the colleges, but just want to skim through so that you know what we're offering. So we have University of Greenwich. It is the best university in London from Student Cloud 2022. This is one of our most popular university for Indian students because everyone wants to live in London, and also it has been providing a lot of part-time work opportunities. So it has been a very popular university for us. It's actually University of Greenwich located in really central London area. And then we have from Wales, we have University of Bangor, and I think in India in particular, the psychology program is very popular to Indian students. It is actually top 250 in the world in psychology. And personally, I really think that this is a really beautiful campus. As you can see, this is a top 50 UK university, and also in terms of their hall of residence, it's really amazing for students to really live on campus. It is actually ranked third place for the best student hall in the UK. For Bangor University, it is in Wales, but if we look into the travel time, it's actually 2 hours travel to Liverpool and 2.5 hours train to Manchester. Then we have University of Bradford, is also one of the universities actually getting more and more popular in the Indian market. One of the reasons is that because the work placement successful rate in the University of Bradford is really, really high, and you can see that it is actually ranked #1 in the UK and second globally for work placement, and then it's also the best university in the world for career and employability. And for Bradford, they offer a wide range of subjects. In particular, they are really popular or famous or with high rank for the high science, health science program, especially in the field of pharmacy and physiotherapy. For University of Bradford, so it's 1 hour train to Manchester, about 3 hour trains to London. You can easily really travel from to different cities across the UK from major cities. Then we have moving to the last one, we have the Montfort University. Again, it is also one of our largest pathway centre in the UK, and I think traditionally a lot of Indian students they would really prefer Leicester as a location. So for the Montfort University, it's actually the top 15 for the best UK universities. It's also the best city in the East Midlands to live and work. And talking about the Leicester, it's about 1 hour train to London and 1 hour train to Birmingham. And then coming to Scotland, we have University of Dundee pathway colleges. University of Dundee is the top 40 UK universities, and also there are a lot of subjects that you can see. They're top 10 for 6 subjects in the UK, very good ranking university, and in comparison to living costs, living in Dundee is relatively low, so it's also a lot of student choice for that. Especially for the life and biomedical science, University of Dundee, they are actually ranked 44 in the world. So for Dundee, there's not actually exactly in England, but it's just only taking 1 hour 10 minutes flight to London and about 1 hour 15 minutes flight to Paris. Then we have another university in Scotland, Edinburgh Napier University. It is our actually new centre in our portfolio, but I guess it's actually getting a lot of traction across the world already. So it's #1 modern university in Scotland, and also in Edinburgh, 16 in the world in the QS Best Student City for 2024, and also #1 university in Edinburgh for student satisfaction as well. So also located in Scotland, so it's about 1 hour 15 minutes drive to London. And I mean, one of the reasons that why Edinburgh Napier University is getting so popular is that once student finishing the pathway program, the university actually offers quite a good progression scholarship for the Indian student. Last but not least, we've got University of Kent International Colleges. It's also one of the top 40 UK universities, and in many different subjects they are doing very good academically, and is #1 in Time Education Award for outstanding student support. It's actually located in Cairns. It's just 1 hour away from London, and a lot of students that they prefer to not stay in London because they choose Cairns because relatively the living cost in Cairns is cheaper, slightly cheaper than London, and it's just 1 hour train away from that. Yeah, so basically this is all the quick information about our pathway colleges offering. So I think the benefit for our students that when they choose to study our pathway program is once they finish the pathway program, it is guaranteed progression to the university and the subjects that they've chosen. And again, because of the academic gap and also the English gap, a lot of students will be choosing our pathway program before progressing to the main degree of the university. So I think that's it for me to update today, and then I will pass it on to my colleagues. Yep.
In Tamil Nadu. We've done a lot of media interaction previously in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Punjab, Maharashtra. So for the first time, we're entering the market of Tamil Nadu, and really, really happy to be here. I'd like to start with thanking all of you present here from the media fraternity. Thank you so much for coming in and gracing the occasion. I'd like to thank Andy Caldwell and Sherwood for a brilliant presentation and the launch of our pathway program in Chennai. And I'd now like to hand it over to the media to ask any questions that you have. And between myself, Sherwood and Andy, we'll address and try to respond to all the questions that you might have. Over to you. Do you have any questions for us?
After completing these courses, what is the benefit we get the student in job area?
Good question. After completing the courses,
I'll start and then I'll hand over to Sherwood. I think the overall benefit of a pathway program is to help students become more settled in the UK so that their degree outcome is more a 2-2 or a third class, and employer is looking at a student more favourably. When a student gets their degree and they've achieved their qualification, they're going to be wanting to stay back in the UK on the UK graduate route, which the UK government have reconfirmed is staying, and international students are welcome. To get the graduate route, students must graduate with honours. The UK education system is very different to the education system here in India. And often students will start their degree program feeling a bit nervous, feeling a bit unsettled, new city, new accommodation, British food, which sometimes is different to the local cuisine here in India. It's about getting settled as quickly as possible, getting ready to achieve their degree. Unlike many countries in the world, the UK offers the main postgraduate programs in roughly 12 months. What we're suggesting with our pathway program to postgraduate students, for example, is they can add on 3 months or 6 months. By adding on 3 months or 6 months to their program, they get a better opportunity to settle into the UK, their city, their culture, and they get prepared for the UK education system that they're starting within. And that preparedness helps them achieve a higher degree outcome, which ensures they get access to the graduate route by graduating with honours, and when they have a better degree in the end, they'll be more employable than their counterparts who are also graduating. Sharon, anything to add?
Yes, just one more point to add is that some of the students, when they check in the university website, from the academic result or English level, when they check on the website, they think that, oh, I'm not eligible for direct entry to the university, so my dream to the UK is gone. But it is not the case, because for the pathway program, we are having a slightly lower entry requirement for the direct entry. But the end result for the student going for the pathway program or they go to the direct with the end result is the same. So we're helping students to transit from, boosting up their academic language skills. So this is also providing a platform or opportunity for students that they initially not have that opportunity, but still pursuing the dream for taking the higher education in the UK.
Just want to add, in fact, summarize what Andy and Sherwood just said. Just to give context, the UK employment market is extremely competitive, like any other international market. You have students that come from USA, Europe, Australia, Canada to study in the UK, and all these students are also looking for jobs, a lot of them, similar to Indian students and South Asian students that go there for higher studies. We understand the need, we understand the gap, because it's extremely competitive. We fill that gap by teaching specific employability skills and career skills so that they can get into employment quicker and be successful in their career. And that's the speciality of Oxford International.
There are a lot of Indian students would like to go out and study, have studies. So many of the Indian students sometimes get teachers cheated by these famous universities. So what will be your guarantee to the students and the enthusiastic and ambitious parents to overcome this kind of challenges? Can you ensure these students?
Yeah, you make an excellent point, and this is something that we are struggling with a lot, especially from actually Tamil Nadu market, and certain states in Tamil Nadu have been known for fraudulent documents, fraudulent finances. I think I'll answer this in two parts. As far as the university side is concerned, UK universities are government owned and government funded. So there's minimal risk of choosing an institution in the UK. So whichever institution that a student chooses, the student is safe. The problem comes on this end that there are agents in the market and there are recruitment agencies that try to extort money from students by promising dreams and aspirations which are not true and making false promises to them. Now, a large part of that also involves making false documentation and ill-advising the students in the wrong direction. And that's why the messaging, we need your help getting out to the students and the parents is, please vet and please check your institution. Speak to students that are studying in the universities there so that they can share their experiences of what life is like in the UK. And second is, make sure that you go to a trusted agency and not just any agency that's conveniently located for you.
How many students are you getting enrolled by these pathway programs for last few years, especially for some years? What are the courses there in let's say in UK?
Sure. Share with the courses that we offer in pathways and estimated numbers.
Talking about new students a year, we're roughly having about 5,000 students across the world for the pathway program.
How many Indians?
Sorry?
Indian students you only them?
Indian students.
In India. Yes, in India it's about 1,000, and then total across the world it's about 5,000 students.
Which are the courses are most sought out in the, which are the courses?
For Indian market, I would say students really highly engaged with the business management program. And then secondly, I would say computer science, and also we have a good number of students going for the engineering program as well. So these are the top three programs for the Indian market.
What will be the
Can I just add that point quickly? Particularly for some subjects like computer science and engineering, those courses are really critical. I'm thinking about employability. Those types of courses, the UK does have a skills shortage in. So students who are really thinking, I want to have a successful career, or parents thinking, I want my son or my daughter to go and study in the UK and have a highly successful career. Being a little bit more focused nowadays, thinking, you know, if you want to get the graduate route and stay back, you want to get a job and earn money, thinking about what are the future careers, what are the sectors that are evolving, and cyber security, computer science, those types of courses that we're seeing an increase in demand are really, really popular. And of course, computer science and engineering are very big, popular, in demand areas here in India. So I think for students who are really wanting to focus on getting a really high achieving degree, getting a first class or a distinction in their degree, focus on an area like engineering or computing, helps students really stand out. When they do get their graduate route visa, they've got their degree with honours, they will be more sought after because the UK wants more engineers and more people to add more value into the UK economy.
Brilliant. Thank you, Andy.
Hi, I'm Jaya and I'm an Instagram influencer. So majority, like what I do is I train people on communication. So my students, what they face is that how do we choose the best university for us to go? So as you mentioned in your pathways and your university partnerships, you have multiple universities partnering with you, right? So based on these, how do I kind of determine which one is the best for me? Because as a person from Indian background, I would like to go for a university where I can actually kind of match up and get used to it. So how do I determine the best one for me, and what are the qualities do you think that I should have to get into all of these things, all of these universities?
Jaya, I'll start and then I'll pass it on to Andy to add. Best is a very relative concept. So what might be best for one student might be different for another student. My suggestion always to students is that there are several universities to choose from, but most important is, one, the student needs to identify what is the outcome that student is looking for. So whether it's accommodation, whether it's tuition fees, whether it's scholarships, whether it is proximity to any particular location. So the student needs to identify what his top priorities are. And second, very important, which is lacking with Indian students, which we keep encouraging students to do, is research. And you must, Jaya, tell them to research, because students often get influenced by what other people tell them. So if they walk into an agent or a consultant office, the consultant will try and suggest different institutions. When suggested, the student should go back home, and we encourage all students to do this, is research online on those particular institutions. Second, speak to students studying at those institutions. Nowadays in today's tech age, Instagram and all Facebook and all access that we have on social media, it's very easy to connect with students that are currently studying at those universities. Let students speak to students that are studying there and see if they can build an affinity to any particular institution. Also, let them speak to faculty. The teachers there in the UK are very welcoming, and they would love to encourage students to speak to them and answer any specific questions they want. So speak to faculty, speak to students, do more research, narrow down, and then decide what's best for each individual student.
Okay, so regarding the connection part which you mentioned, so do you have any specific community where you think that we can get connected with people? Because as a beginner and as a person who is actually new, I may not know how to connect with them, or maybe some of the students will not have that much of idea on how to get in and how to get connected with people. So how do you think that connection would work?
So Jaya, they can get in touch with us. We have an office in Mumbai. We have a team of 400 in our office in Mumbai that is doing nothing but supporting students from India, transition from India to their education in the UK. If they get in touch with us, we will connect them with students, we will connect them with faculty, help them address all their concerns and queries that they have.
Okay, thank you.
Andy?
I would reiterate everything that Mohit said. The choice of university is one that is personal to every student, and that is location, it's how much is it going to cost, because students or their parents have to think about return on investment, and return on investment then links to employability. So what am I going to study, how much is it going to cost, where am I studying, and how much could I earn if I study computer science? And actually, if I study a pathway program, I'm more likely to get a higher degree, which will help my salary once I've graduated. So I think all of those things are really personal choices. The other thing that I think is important, which some universities in the UK but also around the world are better at and some are not so good at, is making sure that when a student places an application to a university, that actually they feel like, okay, this university is very welcoming, and they actually respond in a very fast amount of time to a student's queries. We pride ourselves, with all of our university partners, on responding to students in 24 hours or less. So if a student's got a query, or their agent has a query, students don't want to wait. Actually, it's not fair for students to have to wait. Students want to make a decision on where they're going to go and study. So we think now, coming up to the end of August, some students may still be thinking about joining the September intake. They can still do that. But for some institutions, they cannot. But for us, where we have a large team in India with 400 people supporting students through their journey, a student and their agent could submit an application to study at one of our UK pathway partners, and they should receive a response and a decision on their application within 24 hours or less. And I think that initial interaction between the student and us as an institution is one that's really important, because it signals to the student, actually this institution is very welcoming, and that begins from the early stages. So I think it is a mix of how welcoming is the institution, and the first interaction makes a big difference. I think location, how much is it going to cost, and the return on investment is a key one, which is a combination of the cost of the tuition fee after the scholarship, what are they studying, and what is the employment outcome likely to be, and what they can earn. Cheryl, anything to add?
You have hit upon most of the points, but I think, one of the things that I would add is that, of course, in India, we're working with our official agency that they will be able to give advice to students, and also they can get in touch to our colleagues in the Mumbai office. But nowadays, that everything is actually on the internet, in the social media. I think part of the research process will really help the students to really identify what they really want. I mean, Andy mentioned about the subject, the scholarship, the living cost, everything, but it's really personal. The more they dig into it, on the they look into the video of the campus, how the teaching class, sample teaching class, I think they will get to know more information about which of the university they really want to go. But I would say it is really personal.
Hi, I'm Keshika Manohar. I'm an entrepreneur and I am an influencer too. So right now I'm doing my 12th grade in National Institute of Open Schooling here in Chennai. So will I be eligible to do my UG and PG abroad through scholarship exams or entrance exams?
Absolutely, you are eligible. The scholarship varies as per your grade, background, test, English, etc. There are various varying factors. But you can put in your application, and based on your background, there's multiple options that will be available to you. Now, luckily we have options for both UG and PG students. So if you're interested in doing a UG program with us, there's multiple options at undergraduate level. If you decide to come to us after completing undergraduate in India for postgraduate course, we have a number of options at postgraduate level as well. But specifically for entrepreneurs, we have a very interesting range of courses that is geared up to inculcate entrepreneurship skills to help you become more successful as an entrepreneur. So there's plenty of options available.
Yeah, thank you so much.
One more question. For Indian students, studying abroad is an expensive affair. So many rural students, they would like to study abroad. So do you have any system to give them subsidy or any kind of scholarship for the rural students in India?
So the universities we work with have different scholarship schemes at different points in time. So we encourage all students to apply, and then based on the universities they apply to, we'll send their application to various of our university partners that you see listed here. And depending on what scheme is available at what given point in time, they can take advantage of those schemes. So every university has a pot of scholarship that they open at different points in time. So what was available last September is very different from the pot available this September. So one university might do more aggressive scholarships this year, but next year they may not have those scholarships. But that is something that we do. We constantly research who's giving what scholarship. Once we know the scholarships available, we'll encourage students to take advantage.
What will be the fee structure, the average fee structure for a student who really want to go and study in the UK?
So it varies, again, depending on the course, depending on the university, but I can give you a range. It starts from about 12 lakh rupees going up to around 16 to 18 lakh rupees. So 12 to 18 is the tuition fees that the student is looking at. And in addition to that, there's living and accommodation expenses, which is approximately anywhere between 9 to 12 lakh rupees. This is per year, but the master's degree in UK is just 1 year. So this covers the entire course if the student is going for a postgraduate master's course. The undergraduate courses are on the cheaper side. It starts with about 10 lakhs tuition fees per year, going up to 14 to 15 lakhs.
Are you giving placement assurance, sir?
That's a very good question. Now, it depends what assurance is. So there's one thing which is guarantee and another thing which is assurance. I get a little cagey when we are asked this question because we do not like to give any assurances which are not fulfilled. Now, there are two aspects to placements. One is the effort the student puts in, and second is the effort the university puts in. Universities, all our institutions have placement cells, and in placement cells they will prepare and help students with job interviews, with CV writing, with finding a suitable employment. But we also need students to put in as much interest from their side as possible. I tell you where the gap is. Sometimes the students assume that if I've done a degree, automatically everything happens that falls in place. That's not true. The student needs to make an effort because you're competing in a very internationally dynamic environment with students from different cultures and different countries. So if student is willing to put in the effort, universities are willing to support students find a job, there's no reason a student will not find a job. Unemployment rate in the UK as on today is less than 4%. So now you tell me whether the student will sit under the 96% employment rate or the 4% unemployment rate will depend on the student. Andy, do you want to add anything on the employment rate?
I think you made a very clear point. I think giving assurances or guarantees is hard to do because really it is also about students. I think for us as an institution and our university partners, we aim to provide students as much support and an environment where they can be successful. But if a student is not putting any effort in, they're never going to have the success. It's about a mutually beneficial relationship between the student and the university. We want our students to be successful, but we can't do it for them. They need to want it, they need to be involved and make sure that they're absolutely doing all the things that they need to do to be as successful as possible. And it's our role, and the role of our university partners, to help our students be successful, because it gives us a fantastic track record of success and the outcomes that we have. The other thing I would reiterate is, yes, the UK unemployment rate is pretty low. So there is not, thinking about the opportunities in the UK, the opportunities are there. They are there for the students who want them. And there are several instances where we have seen students be really successful where they're focused. And I think students who are looking particularly at courses like engineering and computing, they've got a great skill and value to add in the UK economy. That is where there's more opportunity for students to be highly successful in their career in the graduate route, and for students who may be looking for more permanent stay back or sponsorship in the UK. If they secure a role in the graduate route, an employer will not want to let that student go. Because the talent pool for certain areas in the UK economy is really tough. So we really want to welcome international students, particularly students who want to have great degree outcomes, want to focus on their degree, get a great degree. get a graduate route visa, focus on an area in the economy and in their career where the UK has a skills gap, like computing or engineering, and feel that, and if they're highly successful there, there's every opportunity that an employer would want to sponsor them to remain. But a lot of that is also on the student to want to be successful. Anything to add, Sharon?
These are these universities are private universities or government funded universities?
Government funded. Government funded.
What about this UK recently witnessed this rating change. So they have done some kind of policy changes in issuing visa. Do they have any challenge from them with government policy changes to get the visa for students?
That's a very good point. So the government changed the policy back starting from 1st January 2024, and the change in policy was not to allow dependents to join the students anymore, or to come along with the main candidate. Now that was in wake of abuse that the UK saw from certain regions where a lot of dependents came in, could not speak English fluently, took up the jobs and made it difficult for students to find suitable employability. So they found there was a gap in their system which they plugged by stopping dependents coming in. However, they're very much encouraging students to come in. There's no change as far that is concerned, and you've just seen the video from the Secretary of State that has said that they are very, very welcoming to international students. As far as visas are concerned, we currently stand at 100% visa success. We have no problem with visas and students getting visas. On that note, I would encourage students from Tamil Nadu to use our local agency that we promote in Tamil Nadu, which is Success Point, and Mr. Rajadurai represents that company here in Tamil Nadu. He is very meticulous as far as visa is concerned. Until he is not 100% satisfied with the documents of the student, he will not allow the student to apply for the visa. And I can vouch because he has the highest visa success rate any agent has seen from the region of Tamil Nadu.
How many agents you have in Tamil Nadu right now?
Not many, sir. We are currently working with about 15 agents in Tamil Nadu, but the one that we have strongest links with is Mr. Rajadurai from Success Point. Mr. Rajadurai, would you like to come on stage and add a few words to what you just said? He's been sending us students now for over 5 years, and there's two distinct benefits that we have seen. One, students are exceptionally happy at the universities that they're studying in the UK. And second is all students have come back and vouched saying that he's given them genuine advice because of which they're making a successful career in the UK. And ultimately that's what makes us happy. We want students to be successful. We want students to get accurate information. We want them to have a good journey so they can transition from India to a successful career overseas.
Chennai. Success Point Education Overseas Consultancy actually we are past 5 years on the Oxford group, or they are tied with Oxford group.
Sir, இதுக்கு எவ்வளவு பேர் அனுப்பிச்சிருப்பீங்க சார்?
இது வரலாம் nearly 2000 plus அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கோம்.
அந்த கோர்ஸ் கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணவங்களுக்கு அங்க சிட்டிசன்ஷிப் கிடைக்குமா சார்?
இதுக்கு நல்ல கேள்விதான், பட் அதுக்கு நம்ம லாங் ப்ராசஸ் இருக்குங்க. ஒவ்வொரு
அங்க வேலை கிடைச்ச பிறகு உங்களுக்கு சிட்டிசன்ஷிப் கிடைக்குமா?
கிடைக்கும், எல்லா கண்ட்ரிலும் கிடைக்கும், பட் அதுக்கு லாங் ப்ராசஸ் அவங்க வெயிட் பண்ணணும், இமிடியேட்டா கிடைக்காது.
ஓகே, தமிழ்நாட்டில் இப்போ தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்க எஜுகேஷன் சிஸ்டத்துக்கும் இப்போ யூகேல இருக்க எஜுகேஷன் சிஸ்டத்துக்கும் என்ன பெரிய வித்தியாசம் இருக்கு?
ஸோ மெயின்லி வந்து தமிழ்நாட்டில் இந்தியாவுக்கும் உங்களுக்கு அப்ராடுக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்தியாவில் வந்து 2 years மாஸ்டர் டிகிரி, யூகேல வந்து 1 year மாஸ்டர் டிகிரி. இது ஒரு மெயின் வித்தியாசம். ரெண்டாவது வந்து யூகேல வந்து ப்ராக்டிக்கலி ஸ்டடிங் த கோர்ஸ், இந்தியாவில் வந்து தியரிட்டிக்கலாக படிக்கிறாங்க, அங்கே வந்து டூயிங் இன் ப்ராக்டிக்கல். அதனால அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ப்ராக்டிக்கல் நாலேஜ் வருது, ப்ளஸ் வந்து எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கிடைக்குது.
இங்கே இருக்கு சார் ஸ்கில் டெவலப்மெண்ட் கார்பரேஷன்லாம் தனியாகவே இருக்கு சார்.
சார் இருக்குது சார். கம்பேர்ட் டு இந்தியா லாட் ஆஃப் டிஃபரன்ஸ். அங்கே நிறைய டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு. நீங்கள் அதை அனுபவிச்சாலும் தெரியும். ரைங்களா? உங்களுக்கு அந்த வித்தியாசம் இருக்குது. இந்தியாவில் இருக்கிற ஸ்டடீஸுங்கிறது உங்களுக்கு நல்லாவே தெரியும். பட் அப்ராட் இருக்கிற ஸ்டடீஸுங்கிறதும் 100% இந்த ப்ராக்டிக்கல் ஓரியன்ட் ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ். இப்போ பிஸ்னஸ்னால் அவங்களுக்கு வந்து பிஸ்னஸ் ஓரியன்டில் வந்து அந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கிடைக்கும். அவங்களுக்கு அவங்க ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணுறவங்களோட இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணிவிட்டு அவங்களுக்கு அந்த என்னென்ன ப்ளஸ் ஆர் மைனஸ்லாம் இருக்குல்ல அந்த பிஸ்னஸில் அதுமாரி அதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு அதை ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ண வச்சு அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு லான்னு வச்சுங்க. லாவில் வந்து ஒரு கோர்ஸ் செட்டப்பே காலேஜில் இருக்கும். நம்ம ஒரு பீரியட் செட்டப் படிக்கிறவங்கலாம் அங்கே இருக்காது. இதுதான் வித்தியாசம். இங்கே யூகேவுக்கு இந்தியாவுக்கும் உள்ள வித்தியாசம் இதுதான். ஃபீஸ் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா மோரர்லாம் இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிறது எல்லாம் மோரர்லாம் சேம். நீங்கள் இந்தியாவில் நல்ல ஒரு கோர்ஸ் படிக்கிறோம்னா இது கம்ஸ் அரௌண்ட் 8 lakhs 8 லட்ச ரூபாய்க்கு 10 லட்ச ரூபா ஆயிடும். அங்கேயும் அது உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஒரு 2 lakhs எக்ஸ்ட்ரா வருது. அது உங்களுக்கு என்ன ஒரு அடிஷ்னல் பெனிஃபிட்னா ஃபாரின் போகிறப்போ உங்களுக்கு பார்ட் டைம் யூ கேன் கோ ஃபார் ஒர்க். அப்படிங்கிறப்ப அவங்க எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ்க்கு அங்கே ஏர்னிங் பண்ணிக்கலாம். என்ன லிவிங் எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ் தே கேன் மேனேஜ். அது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு பெனிஃபிட்டாக.
சென்னையில் எங்கே சார் ஆஃபீஸ் உங்களுக்கு?
சென்னை பர்சன் காம்ப்ளெக்ஸில் இருக்குது. அதே மாதிரி இப்போ தான் ஆக்ஸ்போர்டில் வந்து நாங்கள் 5 இயர்ஸாக இருக்கோம். 5 இயர்ஸுக்கு வந்து நாங்கள் மோஸ்ட்லி மோடி சார் சொன்ன மாரி நாங்கள் வந்து ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் அனுப்புகிறோம். அது ஆல்ரெடி ஃபில்டர் பண்ணிடுவோம். கரெக்டான ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் தான் அனுப்புவோம். ஏன்னா எங்களுக்கு வந்து யூனிவர்சிட்டிக்கு நல்ல குவாலிட்டியான ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும்.
இந்த 5 இயர்ஸ் நீங்கள் அனுப்பின ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஏதாவது ப்ராப்ளம் ஏதாவது பார்த்துருக்காங்களா? பார்த்துங்க.
ப்ராப்ளம்ங்கிறது எதுவும் இல்லை சார். டூரிங் தி கோவிட் டைமில் இருந்தது. அதையும் நாங்கள் ஹேண்டில் பண்ணணும். அதனால் இப்போ ப்ராப்ளம்ங்கிறது எதுவும் இல்லை. கம்பேர்ட் டு இந்தியா இன்னும் ஓப்பனாக சொல்லணும்னா கம்பேர்ட் டு இந்தியா அப்ராட் இஸ் த பெஸ்ட். அது யூகேங்கிறது இன்னைக்கு ஒரு சில நியூஸ் வருது. பட் இருந்தாலும் உங்களுக்கு ஹியூமன் ரைட்ஸும் ரொம்ப இதாக இருக்காங்க.
அப்படி பார்த்தா ஃபாரின்லேருந்து தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு வந்து நிறைய பேர் படிக்க வராங்களே சார்.
சார் உங்களுக்கு வந்து இங்கிலீஷ் ஸ்பீக்கிங் கண்ட்ரிலேருந்து யாரும் வந்து படிக்கிறாங்க சார்?
இருக்காங்க சார். எஸ்ஆர்எம்க்கெல்லாம் போங்க இருக்காங்க
சார். இல்லைன்னு சொல்லலை, இருக்காங்க. எல்லா பக்கமும் இருக்காங்க. இங்கேயும் வராங்க அங்கேயும் போகிறாங்க. பட் கம்பேர்ட் டு இங்கே ஏர்னிங் அவங்க என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? அது ஒன்று இருக்குல்ல. ஃபாரின் செட்டில் ஆகணும்னு ஒன்று இருக்குல்ல. கனவு இருக்குல்ல. நம்மளோட ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் என்ன கனவு இருக்கு? இதோட நல்ல கண்ட்ரியில் போய் பெட்டர் கண்ட்ரியில் போய் செட்டில் ஆகணும்னு இருக்கு. அதுக்கு தான் இப்போ ஆக்ஸ்போர்ட் குரூப் வந்து உங்களுக்கு ஏன்னா சாஃப்ட்வேர் ப்ரோக்ராம்ங்கிறது என்னன்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் எலிஜிபிலிட்டி கிடைக்காது. ஏன்னா நம்ம மாஸ்டர் டைரெக்டாக போடுறதுனா உங்களுக்கு ஒரு சில எலிஜிபிலிட்டி கிரிட்டீரியா இருக்குது. சாஃப்ட்வேருங்கிறது கொஞ்சம் எலிஜிபிள் கம்மியாக இருக்குன்னு கூட அது போகலாம். அதுக்கு தான் ஆக்ஸ்போர்ட் குரூப் தனியாக பண்ணியிருக்காங்க.
தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in today.